This episode of Distraction is sponsored by Landmark College, offering 360-degree support for students with learning disabilities, ADHD, and ASD. Learn more at lcdistraction.org. Landmark College. We teach differently. Hello, this is Dr. Ned Hallowell with a mini episode of Distraction. Well, of course, what's on my mind this week is what's on many people's mind this week, which is the national holiday, not official holiday, but might as well be, called the Super Bowl. I remember vividly watching the first Super Bowl. I was in high school. I was going to Exeter prep school up in New Hampshire. And I remember walking by a color TV at the Exeter Inn. This is when color TV was not, ubiquitous. And sort of casually taking a glance at it. It was sort of a nothing game. It was far from a sellout. I think it was Green Bay playing Kansas City, as I recall. I might have had that wrong. But it was no big deal, that Super Bowl in 1966, was it? Anybody could get a ticket, and not many people did. Nobody had any clue as to the impact this football game would have on the nation and the world. Even the term Super Bowl seemed sort of a hype. I remember wondering, is that going to last? I mean, couldn't they come up with something better than Super Bowl? It seemed like Mighty Mouse or, even without the alliteration. Well, the term Super Bowl has endured, and it's become part of our national vocabulary. It's become, they did a survey, what is the most intense eating day of the year? Well, it's Thanksgiving. But number 2 is the Super Bowl day. And my wife said to me, and I'll bet you people like the food they get at the Super Bowl better than the food they get on Thanksgiving. It's become a wonderful family, friend, community, worldwide event. Bars fill up, living rooms fill up. I've been to several Super Bowls. Honestly, I don't want to go again unless you sit in a luxury box and are helicoptered in and, have many millions of dollars. I find it not enjoyable. It's a madhouse and a throng, and security is ridiculously tight, and the usual complaints. The bathrooms are crowded, the refreshments are expensive, and the view is not perfect. So the view from my living room is perfect, and the people I invite are people I love. And the bathrooms are clean, and the parking is free, and the refreshments are exactly what I want to have. And this year we're having about 20 people over. My wife and I go to great lengths preparing for the event. We talk about the menu. I'm going to make my famous red beans and rice this year, and we're going to get buffalo wings from a great place in Boston called Buff's Pub. And, the line goes around the block on Super Bowl Sunday. I'll go early, and I'm probably going to order 100 wings, and some will be super hot and some medium, and we'll do various dips. I'm a big fan of the dip that goes back to when I was a kid. You make it with sour cream and Lipton onion soup and get some Ruffles with ridges. It's pretty basic fare, and then various forms of alcohol, wine, beer, and maybe some Jack Daniels, maybe a Bloody Mary thrown in there. But not for those who are driving afterwards. Don't worry. We're aware of all this kind of stuff. It's just a big, fun event. And, of course, we're season tickets holders to the Patriots. Now, don't hate me because of that if you live anywhere else around the country, because I suffered with the Patriots back when they were a laughingstock, back when they were a terrible team, and the ownership was well-meaning but didn't really know what they were doing, and the stadium was a terrible stadium. But I knew it would all change the day they hired Bill Parcells, and I remember that day. It was about 25 years ago. I got in my car that Sunday morning with Sue and the kids, and we drove down to Foxborough, and we bought the season tickets we still have to this day. because I knew they would go from being a laughingstock to a good team, and that's exactly what happened. We bought 6 tickets that day. We could have had any seat in the house. And now there's a waiting list of 50,000 to get Patriots season tickets. But we suffered through the lean years, and then we had the good years. And the football games, as the kids were growing up, they were so much fun. We'd drive down there, we'd tailgate, we'd talk with other fans, we'd play touch football out back. The boys would throw the balls around. Lucy would usually bring one of her girlfriends. For all the problems you hear about football, and sure, there are many, and they're serious, and head injury is a huge problem, and there are many controversies swirl around the NFL. But our experience of it as a family has been uniformly positive. It's our kids actually didn't play football; they played soccer and lacrosse and basketball, but the social phenomenon of gathering together for a football game is unmatched in our, well, I wouldn't say unmatched, but it's absolutely wonderfully fun. And really the only bad part is you get so attached to your team that it's really agonizing when they lose. And every team but one is going to lose, and we've been so lucky with the Patriots, but our luck will run out. Tom Brady won't live forever, even though he seems to want to. And Bill Belichick won't coach forever, and Robert Kraft won't own the team forever. So, the golden years will recede into the rearview mirror. But it's not just about the winning. And I know people who don't have a winning team will say, easy for you to say, but it really is about connection, which is what our show always comes back to. Any way you can connect. Now, I have a very close cousin, Jamie, who has no more interest in football than he does in charcoal, so it's not for everyone. But Jamie is a great connector, and he connects with people in other ways. And on Super Bowl Sunday, he'll probably be out with a friend or with a group of his friends, going to a movie or enjoying a cocktail in some bar where the Super Bowl is not showing. It's not for everyone, but for the people who enjoy it, it's a wonderful connector, and it's something that takes us out of the world of politics and out of the world of, bad news and whatnot. And the only bad news is if your team doesn't win. And for all that's painful, it's not the end of the world, far from it. Well, I want to commend the Super Bowl to you all as a fun day we can all enjoy. I hope if you're a Patriots fan, your team wins. But my son Tucker is an Eagles fan, so either way, one of us is going to go to bed that night very, very happy. This is Dr. Ned Hallowell with a mini episode of Distraction. Distraction is produced by Collisions, the podcast division of CRN International. Collisions, podcasts for curious people. Our sound engineer is the brilliant Scott Pearson, and our producer is the incredibly creative Sarah Gurton.